Good morning and welcome to FYI. Good morning, FYI family. How are you folks doing this morning? Great to see all of you on the live. Good to see you, Kyle, Bino, and Debbie Collins, Edward Brooms, and Paulette. Good to see you there. Dexter Charles. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. How are you folks doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Javon McDonald is here. Good morning, folks. A very good morning to all of you. Good morning, good people. How are you doing? Good to see you. So many of you already on the live this morning. Like you sleep by the phone, folks. Fired up and ready to go. Good to have so many of you on the live this morning. Look at all the names. Clear Alexis, Charming, Richmond. Keyboard Hope is here. Alita Galloway is here as well. Good to see you, wonderful folks. Good to see each and every one of you on the live today, guys. Great to have all of you with us. Barbara Ralph is here. Abida Monroe is here as well. Good to have all of you. Lester Weeks is here too. How are you doing, Lester? Warm cup of coffee this morning. Warm cup. 40 cents, folks. 40 cents. Chance Harry, good to see you there. Lester Weeks, we see you as well, Lester. How are you doing? Good to have all of you on the live today. Mornis Toby is here with us. Good to have Morna on with us this morning. Oh, how are you wonderful folks doing today? How are you folks doing today? Do let us know, folks. When the Hudson is here. Good morning, right back at you, Claire Alexis Chomley. Right back at you. We send it back at you. Folks, do let us know if you're hearing us, Claire, Edward, and Debbie. How are you guys doing? Let me just make myself comfortable. Like trying to fall off this chair. You know, we make people, the bones don't bend so quickly as it used to. They don't bend so quickly. Let me just make sure we're safe. Good to have all of you on the live this morning, joining us from so many places. How are you folks doing today? My God. What a weekend into this new week. Tuesday, folks, March 19th. Somebody's birthday today. Somebody's birthday today. Somebody's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Nessa Ward, Sheena Hazel. How are you guys doing? Emerson Holder. How are you doing? Is Naomi here? Is Naomi here? June Cameron says we outside. Folks, I was on Naomi's profile this morning. I was flitting through Facebook. You know, we say I'm minding your business. And I saw Naomi's profile shot. I know, like she sent it. Rena Cummins, how are you doing there, sister? Good to have you on the live, Rena. Credible viewers. Rena says good morning to all the credible viewers. Yeah. We only want valid, credible comments and valid viewers. Joy Kosha. Joy, you see when you get these elegant names, you got it's money in the bank, you know. All the Koshas I know is rich people. All the Koshas. Rich people. Filthy rich. Long I know you, Joy. Cousin Joy? Cousin Joy, it's long I know you. Dolly Anderson, Savannah Page, Pearl Thorne, Ras Ricardo. Lots of folks on the live this morning. Emily Durant is here. We are well, Emily. Ellie asking, how are we? How are we doing this morning? I'm good. We good. Are we good? Joy, Wenda, Lambert, Kyle, Lennox, Glenford, the whole crew. the outside folks, and we're happy to have you on with us. Lyndon Gill, good to see you on the live as well. Folks, how are you all doing now? Beatrice Selby, good to have you. Dwayne Collins, we see you there, Dwayne. We see you, Dwayne, we see you. We see you. Folks, a lot to covering today. You know, the violence continues against our women and girls. It continues, folks. Welcome. How you like that? Just rushing like Obia. Thanks to the advent of technology, you know, you can do a couple of things. you can do a couple of things. What? Folks, I was just saying, technology is so far ahead. Sorry. My big iron lash the mute button. Lash the mute button. Mute the mic. But I was saying technology has gone so far. You know, I could have somebody right next to me in studio here who's not really and truly in the studio. But you would swear to God, the person sitting right here. Technology is so far gone. And we're just happy that 1 minute we could be by ourselves, and the next minute, whoosh, we got company. You know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and I said, "Why?" They said, "Bind your devil." What kind of abuse this is? Well, Anderson, bind you, Satan, filthy animal. But technology allows us to do all of these things. This is right. This is the same. Somebody, I could be a weatherman, right? With bright sunshine and so. Thank God for the advent of technology. I ain't come up too bad, eh? I ain't got. Some of us clean up good. Some of us is clean up real nice. And I ain't come up too bad, though. I used to have a nice, what color is that? Beige? Like a light brown beige jacket. It shrinked a little bit. So I had to retire it. It shrinked a little bit. So I had to retire it. Some folks are people in the studio. I know why they're watching we. We big and we clean. We clean up a little. I gotta get back a nice beige jacket. A nice, you know the kind of Obama beige? Remember that day when Obama shot them with that beige and showed that he had range? Yeah, I gotta get back. I had one like that. It got a little shrink. It shrunk a little bit. Shrink a little bit, yeah. How are you folks doing? Leslie? 1 minute by myself, next minute, whoosh. Big screen here. Y'all love it this morning. Folks, it's not Obia. It's now. We know the whole thing. Got an appointment to see my dentist today. I'm so self-conscious when I go to see my dentist. By now, my dentist and I, we're family. I think I've seen my dentist every week for the last few months. You know? Did I tell you on the morning I see like the dentist got a blowtorch. I see flames shooting out my mouth and smoke. This is Obia. Folks, there's the Albert, Brenda. Hold on. What is it? Rewind effect. Folks, tell me if I'm wrong. With everything that comes with aging, Kyle, tell me if I'm wrong. You know how we Guyanese say it? Tell me if I'm wrong. I've tried on old age. I like it. Like poverty. I like it. I like it. It used to be you hit your hand, your feet, you stumble down. You'd bounce back like that. You'd bounce back. This old age, I like it. You could knock your finger and hurt you for 3 weeks. What's this about? Forbes, what's this about? Yolanda and Patricia, you knock your foot 3 months later, it's still hurting you. 3 years ago, I could leap over tall buildings and scale some walls. Don't tell me I'll never jump through second floor window of a hotel. After a full package. Luana try on old age like poverty, and I like it. Roxanne says, old age is a disaster. I went to my own page this morning, that's what I'm telling you. I try on old age, I like it. I want to send it back. I want to send it back. So I was on Naomi's Facebook page. Like I was going on y'all Facebook page 1 2 times and just look around to see who we got between. Naomi something. Naomi something to write home about. Naomi something to write home about. If the photos are true. You know, as we get older, folks, we gotta do so much more. Just to meet the bare minimum. I think I've seen my dentist every weekend this year, right? I say I'm out here talking with you guys every week. I can't be out here looking thin. You know? To tuck where you gotta tuck. Stitch where you gotta stitch. Do what you gotta do. Luan Halsey forward ever. Right back at you. Backward never. I've tried on this whole thing. Like poverty. I like it. I like it at all. It has its blessings. But oh God, the downsides. Lot of mercy. I like it. How are you folks doing? Naomi said I wasn't expecting this. A scream out. Everybody looking around at me. Folks, and because you older, they allow you. When you scream out and turn around and say, let me see who's this mad one. And then when you realize it's somebody big, you say, oh Lord. You know, you have to accept you getting old. If you living in Guyana, they graduate you. You gotta accept you could think you young as you feel. Right? And I understand what the Bible meant. Right? What Paul meant. Debbie Collins. In a very acute way, Marlon Chubb. I understand what the Apostle Paul, what he meant when he said, while the outward man perished, the inward man is renewed. Because inside I feel like 16. But the outside, the outside, my mind's telling me yes. Who sang that song? But my body, I try on old age folk. I like poverty, I like it. I like it, folks. So I went to Naomi's page. Naomi's something to write home about. Keep it up, Naomi, keep it up. That's all I'll say. 1 2 times I go around your page and see, who's this Horace? Who's this Horace Calder? You know? Who's this Desiree? Who's this Leslie here? Leslie knows she tunes. Leslie Rockham come in, R. Kelly. My mind's telling me yes, but the body, you know, you can't do the things you used to do. You try to do some things you used to do a year, 2 years ago. You need to go and say, whoop, whoop. You need like jello, whoop, whoop. My Lord. Roxanne Garwell says, so true, the body saying something else. You talking English, the body talking Latin. You're not communicating. It's not communicating. Naomi says she can still jump through hotel windows. After the full package, she can still jump through it. Good on brave, Naomi. Good on brave. I can left inside on the floor. 2 miles of Guinness. 2 Guinness of a beer. Left on the floor there. Yvette Wolford, Shavina Richards, Janet Smith. Good to have all of you. And sorry, I gotta spoil the whole thing now. If I know we had so much fun when we started the program, I'd push the next story, the first story, to the back of the program. You know? Some of you think we're still young. You want to drink 3 Guinness and a beer? Look. You asking for trouble. Maybe best find out from A&E. Whatever the other one's name. You better find out. It's cheaper to live now than to die. You got to put caskets on there. It's cheaper to live. Elizabeth? Naomi, Elizabeth talking to you. Elizabeth, you're right. Elizabeth said when you jump, you got tuck and roll. You got jump, tuck and roll. Elizabeth, like she jumped through a couple windows in she time. When you jump, you got tuck and roll. Folks, we got to start the program. 17 minutes in. We're talking about hotel and old age. I try on old age, folks. Like property, I ain't like it. Send it back. I ain't like it. My Lord. My Lord. My aunt, she's on the live right now. I remember when I was younger. When she and my mother would walk out like slaves. And they're watching on, you know. Like the HNIC. They're watching you doing all this scrubbing and so on. They're watching you talking a roll. You know? I remember them watching us eat syrup, mango, pickle, and so on. They used to say, When you get older and tell me better, you could have lashed up pickle and so on. Now, with a slice of mango, your teeth grinding, your teeth edging. My father, I understand what Paul meant when he said the inward man is renewed every day, but the outward man perish. Yeah. I was telling my wife recently. I said I've been implanted with so much plastic. I don't know myself. Who know, folks? I'm feeling myself. You know, I'm feeling myself. Vanilla Garnet, folks, welcome. Well, I'm trying to transition. You see this violence that we have against our women and girls? We gotta stop it. We gotta stop it. Naomi said, I should jaw hurting. It's what my wife gave me this morning to eat. Oh, you don't mean come straight from some second floor? Tuck and roll. Roll in the studio. Who is SBC? SBC. Who's this? Who's this business? Folks, very good morning to each and every one of you. As we come on this morning, a bit of sad news we started with. You know, we got my eyes tearing up here. See that? I've been crying over you. Old song. Been crying over you. Folks, a bit of sad news as we start this morning, because at least one family, one community Though they want to be, they can't be as happy as we are this morning, because as we're coming on, you have the heartbreaking news that a 24-year-old young woman was shot dead this morning. A domestic dispute gone wrong. And this is Ashanti, Liverpool, 24 years old. And she was killed by her twin sister, ex-boyfriend, who went looking for the twin sister at Ashanti's place, couldn't find her. Oh, he was in a fit of rage. And when Ashanti tried to escape his wrath and anger, reported she was fleeing her own home when he shot her in the street. And then he turned the gun on himself. According to the report. Fortunately or unfortunately, he is receiving medical attention on the guard at one of the hospitals in the city. And 24-year-old Ashanti, Liverpool, has lost her life. Lost her life. But we got to talk with our young people so much more. We got to talk to our young people so much more. Years ago, my aunt sent me an email. Let's say how long it was. She's on the live this morning. She sent me an email. This is when email was like Facebook. Know how much to give? That's what she said. She was forwarding me something. And I remember this line in this inspirational statement or whatever it was. Know how much to give, when to stop giving, and when to walk away. She didn't even know. She was instructing a young man. You know? She was just forwarding me something that had those lines in it. And I remember that had stuck with me. I came at 20 years ago. Was email crazy 20 years ago? She sent me that email. Know how much to give. This security guard, Ashanti's sister, ex, didn't know how to walk away. And so he went looking for her at Ashanti's home. The report says Ashanti and her boyfriend were in their bedroom when the assailant engaged her. And of course, if she see this fella got a gun or whatever in his hands, probably seeing the menacing look on his face, she was trying to flee, ran outside, and he shot her in the street like she was nothing. Like she was nothing. And people struggle with this all the time, knowing how much to give, when to stop giving, or when to walk away. Right? Naomi asked you an important question. Why kill her? That's an important question. Right? That's an important question. John Maxwell says, hurting people hurt people, and they're easily hurt by them. That's a truism of life. Hurting people hurt people, they don't care. People say I can talk my mind. Because they're angry, I don't care the repercussions of what they say, how hurt people are. But I'm hurt, so I can talk my mind. He clearly was intent on inflicting maximum pain on this family. Early this morning, you know. Early this morning. Young lady got up from her bedroom. He went by the house. Got up from her bedroom That's it, you know. That's it. Left the warm arms of a lover to see what this fellow wanted. And she don't know. That's it, you know. Father, help us. Help us. Help us. 24 years old. Gunned down right outside our home in the street. Thoughts and prayers with her family. Our thoughts and prayers also go out to her community. Thoughts and prayers. And that's how we starting Tuesday morning, folks. March 19. And this was in Dazzle Housing Scheme up on the East Coast. Early this morning, all this went down. Early this morning. So senseless. You know, so senseless. Family now is mourning. And if he don't die from his hope, he can spend a long time locked away. A long time. And that's if the case Jacket and Swan go missing and a whole bunch of other nonsense in the legal system. Yeah. That's how we start this morning, our thoughts and prayers to the family. Our thoughts and prayers to them. Just a senseless loss. Senseless, senseless loss. Sheila Boy Child says, GT brothers have to protect our women and stop killing our sisters. Accurate. And we gotta teach each other because apparently not all of us come up like this. So we gotta teach our brothers now how to care for our women and not harm them. Know when to give, how much to give, and when to walk away. It's a difficult thing. It's difficult when you're going through that. Difficult when you're going through that. I like my freedom. We gotta teach our brothers, you know, exactly what Sheila Boy Child is saying there. Exactly that. The love, the care to protect and not to harm our women. We gotta teach our brothers that. Some interesting headlines in the morning papers. Interesting letters to the editor. Some interesting letters to the editor. Here's one we saw out in the Chronicle. Now, unless you running a propaganda newspaper, you wouldn't print anything like this. Unless it's a propaganda newspaper you're running. Teachers owe gratitude to the government for bringing them out of poverty. That's something I'd expect to see in the Mirror. That's the PPP, a party newspaper. Teacher owe a debt of gratitude to government for bringing them out of poverty. No, that's highly fallacious, highly inaccurate. But let us hazard that were so. Right? $14 was in poverty and 15 was out of poverty. Right? 6.4 was poverty and 6.5 is out of poverty. Let's hazard that. Because you've done that. Not with your own personal finances. And even if it were your personal finances, you've done that with state resources. Huh? They're going to be bonded to you now for 1,000 years. Because you direct some state resources to people, they're now supposed to be bonded to you. So they should be grateful that they're the lowest paid in the region. And the PPP fail to understand, like Chronicle fail to understand, like the letter writer fail to understand. There's a different time, an incomparable time. We used to be able to say, we ain't got the money. Now every hour, millions of US dollars coming in our coffers, adding up to billions of dollars. But see, we want to keep folks subjugated. We want to keep people in poverty. We want to keep them needy. And that is why we won't pay our public servants. We won't pay our teachers, doctors and nurses and policemen, our soldiers. We won't pay them comparable salaries like their regional counterparts. Marlon, this thing is not difficult. I've missed Marlon's voice and her logic. This thing is difficult. I'll show you something. You see where Elizabeth lives? Elizabeth Narine. Like where most of you live in the diaspora. You have a system and you have a system that works. Every Tuesday, you put your garbage out. You got your recycled stuff, your recyclables, and then you got your other things. You turn your garbage bin a certain way, and then the truck comes, pulls up, a big arm come out, flips the bin over, rests it back down and gone. You're not fighting for go outside when it happening because some garbage collector say, big man, left something now. You got a system. And it works. You gotta go in online and stand up for 3 hours just to cash your check. You got systems that work. I asked them years ago, who was the mayor? I think the mayor has changed now. I remember my aunt say, I ain't too sure, you know. You know why they ain't too sure who's the mayor? You want me hazard a guess for you? Because the system works. The garbage is picked up on time. The trees in the neighborhood, they're trimmed on time. So it doesn't bother me who the mayor is. You see, when you got to engage a dysfunctional system every day. I want my garbage pickup. I want this. I want that. I want my NIS. And this and that. That is how they become needy. That is how you become dependent on them. And that is how they become lords. Not because you have a functioning system. It's a dysfunctional one. People at Karasabai, they live far from the capital. But this is not on the moon. It's not Jupiter. It's not Uranus. So while it's a bit far, technologies have already been created. Why should people in Karasabai got to wait every 3 months to get their NIS? And if they have to take the bus out of Karasabai to let them on a monthly basis, because every 3 months is when they go in to the village. That's what I'm told. But if they want to go for it to let them every month, what's the average pension? The average pension, old age pension, is 35,000. Huh? It's about 35,000. I ain't so far up yet. It's about 35,000. And if they gotta go pick up that pension and let them, 7,000 out of the 35 is a return fare. So the pension is really 28. You think you understand where we are? If the system functions, you don't need them. If you have increases baked in, you see, Don Sullivan says 33,000. And if they got to pay 7 from 33 for transportation, you see where we are. So they got to wait every 3 months for the people to go into them. It's dysfunction on this. If you got increases baked in the system, a 10-year agreement, right? Then the union don't need to see the minister every month. If we are pulling in the same direction. But then you got some clowns saying that you owe them servitude because they give you a 6.5. So you ought to be grateful. That's the kind of nonsense that hold me back as a country. Arvin Don says now 36,000. Right? So it's really 29. If you take out the 7,000 for transportation, or you wait every 3 months. Yeah. And then when you, remember, if you go the long distance now by the bus, that's whole day, you know. So you gotta make sure you can buy your food and let them, you know, buy a drink, what have you. So 7 plus. That might be an extra $2,000 or $1,500 for a little snack. So tell us 7 at, let's say at 2, so it's 9. 9 from 36. If you want to get a pension every month. So you're working for the bus man. Really and truly. Dysfunction. But the man say you ought to show gratitude. For 6.5, that the inflation alone, by the time you carry it to the shop, it's gone. The inflation alone takes it away in little Dubai. And as we letters to the editors, a letter to the editor, Clement Rowe, he got this gem. Oh, you need legislative changes if you're going to introduce biometrics. Well, don't tell me about problems, say about solutions. I think you have a willing opposition if he feels that's the case. If we're going to get valid and credible votes out of any general election, you have a willing opposition. But does he have a willing government? They could come to Parliament and try to push through legislation that puts things in the pockets. Why then bring in legislation on biometrics if this is the direction they really want to go in? And then Mama Guy in. So there's a piece by Rohi, he just find the voice. Without appropriate legislative changes, the introduction of biometric identification at the place of poll will be unconstitutional. He tells me about problems. And as every new parliamentary term starts, they talk about, they have a robust legislative agenda. Right? Because they want to be seen as so hardworking. But bring the legislation that matters then. Bring the legislations that matter. I saw this is another one. in the Chronicle today, the Chronicle talking about judges, I think in Barbados, being called out because several decisions are already handed down. The written judgments still lagging, or sometimes it's the decision itself. The decision itself that is falling apart and falling behind. But I want you to understand why they're doing this. It's really jabs at the judiciary they're taking. Right? It's really jabs at those fraud charges and electoral charges. That is what they are really hinting at, folks. And really to say, we should call out our judiciary. Or, when you see the judiciary here being called out, don't be up in arms. Because look, in Barbados, it is happening. Judges are being called out. That is what they're really getting at here. That's what one shines you on. But they're only talking half the truth. Let me give you the other half of it. They're only talking half and the left in half. But I can bring the other piece. Was it last year that the Judicial Service Commission was activated, was operationalized? I think it was April last year. I want to make sure I have the accurate information. I think it was April of last year when the system was operationalized. And our judges locally, they have been saying a couple of things over and over and over again that I want to remind us of. And as I'm engaging you guys, I want to make sure that I'm accurate. These aren't the things you can see in the Chronicle. These aren't the things you're going to see there at all. So for our part, I want accuracy. That is what I'm striving for. Accuracy. Because you saw them recently lashing out at the judiciary, saying that the magistracy and judiciary were frustrating the will of the people. That is what they said. The magistrates and judges. That's why you see a headline like this one here. Complaints filed against judges as dozens of cases pass deadline. We ain't getting the result that we want to see. But I remember in particular that it was about a year ago when we had the Judicial Service Commission appointed. As a matter of fact, it was July 14th, 2023. It is on the year when the Judicial Service Commission, that's important because it is the Judicial Service Commission that does the appointment of magistrates and judges. If an Ali's government came in August 2nd, 2020, and it has taken them all that time to operationalize the Judicial Service Commission. It was operationalized July 13th of last year, less than a year ago. And up until that time, hear what some of our judges were saying. And in this instance, This is the acting chancellor who said to the media, right? And this is the 10th of January 2023. The 10th of January last year, the Judicial Service Commission that appoints judges and magistrates was operationalized the July. Hear what she said. We need more judges. We need the Judicial Service Commission to be established as soon as possible. We are facing increased caseloads. Judges are now overburdened. They are exhausted. They are nearly worn out. And they are in some cases burnt out. This is the acting chancellor telling us this. So when they come and they say that decisions are behind, and they're hinting at decisions being behind, you understand why. They are the problem. They are the problem. It's not the judges. They are the problem. In addition to that, the year before April 2022, April 12th, 2022, no less a person than the Chancellor of the Judiciary, sorry, not the Chancellor of the Judiciary, the President of the CCJ was visiting. The President of the CCJ was visiting April 12th, 2022. And he sought to encourage Irfan Ali to appoint the substantive chancellor who's still acting and appoint the substantive chief justice who's still acting the 12th of April 2023. Hear what he said. I believe I have a right and a duty publicly to express the view that Guyana should not let this year pass and not remedy this regrettable situation. Adrian Sanders, President of the CCJ. That's 2022. 2023 has come and gone. We're in 2024. Irfan Ali, if you ask him this morning, will still say soon. Soon I'll get around to it. The last thing he said is when he appoints the Judicial Service Commission, he's going to look at that. When he was running out of excuses, he said, as soon as I appoint the Judicial Service Commission, that was appointed last year, July. So when they're coming around, it's funny, trying to push the blame on our teachers, on our judges rather, and our teachers too. But in this case, on our judges, to say they should be similarly sanctioned because it's they holding up the decisions. They're holding back the judicial process and the will of the people. When it is really the government, their slothfulness, their incompetence, that is messing up the whole thing. But that is how hypocritical. That is the hypocrites that they are. Yep. So I just wanted to point that out because this is why the state media, Chronicle, is pushing this headline here. The judges in Barbados, they ain't gonna tell you the judges in Barbados got a fully functioning Judicial Service Commission, probably appointed years ago, and whatnot. They ain't gonna tell you all of that. They ain't gonna tell you they have a substantive Chief Justice and Chancellor of the Judiciary. They ain't gonna tell you that. They can talk half and left half. And there's another one in the state media. Oh, they're getting away with murder over there. You remember I told you the Human Rights Committee for the United Nations brought up the issue of Mr. Jack Dio, our vice president, not being investigated for these corruption allegations? Remember I brought that up last evening? Gail Teixeira says Vice News attempted fabrications were fully exposed and dismantled. Fully exposed and dismantled by the man that Vice News was investigating, of course. Not in a court of law, not through an investigation, independent investigation. It was fully dismantled by the very man who was in the living room saying, Sue's handle all the arrangements. I on the government side. I's bringing things from the government side. I's helping the government side. Sue can handle all the arrangements and so on. He fully dismantled. Right? According to Gail, fully dismantled and fully exposed by its news. Yep. And how is that case going against Sue, who slandered him, libeled him, pulled down his good name? How is that case going? How is that case going? I don't see Jack Dio abusing down the judiciary about that case and the slothfulness, bringing that case to trial and denying the will of the people in that case. We don't hear that on a Thursday from Freedom House or from Shibney Ryan Chancha Paul Drive. When is this case concerning Sue coming to trial? I need my justice. My name has been sullied. Sullied before who? Clearly, the United Nations Human Rights Committee ain't think too highly of him. They want to know why the investigations have not gone forward against all of these allegations. Strong allegations of corruption. That is what they asked Teixeira yesterday. She said they have been fully exposed and dismantled. When did this happen? When did this happen? What I know is that they continue to facilitate a system of corruption. And it in the same documentary, you heard a brother saying, old politicians in Guyana in the PPP weren't on the take. Then they'd be surprised. What investors doing in his living room? Why are investors meeting him in his private home? And not in Go Invest conference room. Why are they meeting there? Who else has been in the living room? Brought by Sue or any other person. Who else has been in the living room there? Prattville Tree. And when are the investigations going to be done? When are they going to be done? So those are all questions still out there. Those are asterisks still out there, Madam Teixeira. So don't come wrong with funny. Don't do it telling us, but Vice News attempted fabrication. That's riveting investigation. Well, I frightened the policing capabilities of that investigation to be undertaken by the Guyana Police Force. Because you know them boys don't shoot straight. They're telling us that our enforcement officers are going to be benefiting from some training by the FBI and the DEA. I didn't get whether you got any shooting training here. You know, them boys fired 88 shots at the car, none hit. 88 shots. I saw one report that says that Ben doubted the amount of bullets. If the police themselves says 88, why are you doubting them? I don't know if Ben was on the scene. He was at Saxakali over the weekend as the joint services were hunting Akeem Wang and brought him down. I don't know if he went on the hunt too. You know, he don't even walk fast. I don't know how he can make out. I don't know if he was on the hunt too, giving directions. But I hope some training is involved in the area of shooting. Because they said 88 shots were fired at the car of a policeman who they mistook for somebody with bad intentions, a desperado. The police fired 88 shots, none hit the car. So I am very worried about any capacity they have to investigate a character like Barack Jack Dio. I'd be very worried about that. About their investigative capacity. Debbie says 88 blank shots. 88 blank shots. Forbes Badu says, Old Ben's story never straight. Old Ben up, story never straight. Just a couple of things. Remember Ittering Bang, the supermarket owner that met his demise during a robbery, shot during a robbery? Postmortem examination said he died from an incision to the neck and blunt trauma to the head. All on Ben watch. All on Ben watch. And now he at Ittering Bang, directing the joint services at Saxakali rather, directing the joint services. Postmortem don't bring back dead. Postmortem don't bring back dead. All of that is staged to make you look a certain way, make you look nice. Staged. All of that. Folks, our time has left us. Even though we got some other things I wanted to bring your way. I don't want to detain you folks, knowing the busy folks you are. Quite a few things we still got. They're telling us that Trinidad amending its laws so that we can import some Guyanese honey. That's one of the things happening today. You live somewhere in the northwest and you travel with the Canoan and the Sabanto. You know, this age is a terrible thing. With these two ships, these two boats is one step forward, two steps backwards to distract. They're telling us Wi-Fi coming to the Canoan and the Sabanto very soon. I say let me just knock out the low-hanging fruits first. Let the boats just walk with some kind of regularity. Don't let you worry with the flowery stuff. The frills and trills. Let me just get the basic right. Let us just get the basics right. And then they're telling us here too, one of the suspects in the same murder of that businessman there in Ittering Bang, he was part of some group in Venezuela, a gang. He was part of a gang in Venezuela. That raises a lot of concerns. That raises a lot of concerns. A lot of concerns. How are we screening people? We doing any background checks and so on? Yeah. Your boy says that the PPP boys will not cash in from gas, the energy project, the one happening at Wales. She admitted they got PPP boys. Who's usually cash in? But this one, said, they're not going to cash in on this one. They're not going to cash in on this one. They're not. They got PP bugs, they usually cash in, but this one here, they're not going to cash in on this one. And stakeholders are asking for the monthly data as we on oil and gas. The monthly data on extraction and consumption. Why are they hiding it? Why are they hiding the data? I made some of you feel better right there. Why are they hiding the data? People want to see. People want to see what's happening, folks. And big shout out to our Golden Jaguars team as we wrap up, folks. Big shout out to our boys. I think they're in Saudi Arabia representing. Somewhere there in the UAE representing, folks. And we want to wish them all the best. We want to wish them all the best. They landed well and they, after training, we want to wish them the best. Golden Jaguars. I think it's Saudi Arabia they're in. That being said, folks, as I said, we don't want to detain you further because y'all are busy people down the daily and Mavis Daviswell and Beryl Crawford. Y'all is big people. Lyndon Gill. Kyle Bino, good to have all of you folks on the live yet another day. That's going to do it for us at this end, folks. Raquel Gentle, Beryl Crawford, Edward Brooms, Nigel. Have a fantastic day, folks. We're going to see you guys on the next one. Andrew Griffith, Kishan Sharma Ramjitan, Forbes, Unida Gwyneth, Erwin Faye, Onessa, Gloria Pat, Yindi. How are you doing, Yindi? Good to have you in the live as well, folks. That's going to do it for us at this end. That's our time. Thanks for being here with us, each and every one of you. Share the live as you go. Do us a big favor. Hundreds of you. I think I come close to 1,500 of you on the live this morning. Share that live. Smash that emoji button for us, folks. Once you can, partner with us too. We're available via Cash App and Zelle and PayPal, MMG MoneyGram, Western Union, folks. And you know we do have that special link. You're heading into the city, looking after your business. You need a good justice of the peace, Commissioner of Oaths to affidavit. We want to recommend the Alistair Collins firm, folks, for all of your business needs, your documentation needs, folks. We want to recommend them highly. We use them ourselves. We want to just tell y'all, use them if we didn't know who we're talking about. So we want to recommend them highly, folks. They're right down there in the Kalyan Mall on Lamaha Street, between Camp and Waterloo Streets, but on Lamaha Street. And we recommend them highly, folks. 649-6410, 649-6410, and 685-6448. 685-6448. That's the numbers you want to call. Remember, you can partner with us, folks. We encourage you to partner with us on a monthly basis. $10 per month. If you hit that second link, it'll register for you to donate $10 per month to us. It'll happen automatically from your credit or debit card. Folks, that second link, and it's a very, very secure link. I think we've had it for close to a year now, and we haven't had one complaint. That being said, good folks, we're going to leave it there this morning. That's our time. That's our program. Stay safe, Ravindra and Sheila, Belinda, Debbie and Sheila Boy Child, Ingrid. Stay safe. Thanks for joining our broadcast. All of you.